Hello and welcome to the first in this series of Building Better Teams. Um, the idea around this is to give you insight into the science of team science and give you some tactics and strategies that you can use to operate more effectively in a team environment, specifically in scientific research teams. This is an adaptation of a series that we hosted with IMOD in early 2025. These are the different sessions we ran through. We've recorded these such that you can hop between different topics and look at different things. So this just gives you an idea of the structure and some of the other places that you can go along and get information and take a deeper dive into some of the different aspects. One of the things we recommend you do with this series is sit down and have a pen and paper with you. There are a number of places where we had questions and interactive chat when we hosted this in person. What I'd recommend you do at those times is pause the video and take down some notes for yourself. This will give you a way of thinking about some of the ways it impacts you and some of the ways in which you can kind of take some of this information forward. What we're not going to do with this series is make you an expert in the science of team science. The assumption here is that we're not going to try and convince you or negotiate with you. We've tried to distill down all of the findings from a vast amount of research and give you kind of takeaway messages. The idea is not to take a deep dive into the science of team science, but really just say, this is how you can use it. And in the in-person meetings, we made available a lot of resources. We're not going to do that with this online piece. We're just going to give you these pieces of information and really you can kind of take those forward and do a deeper dive if you so wish. We want to give you tools, we want to give you tactics, and we want you to be able to take these and put them into practice. So this is the first of the questions, and it's something we revisit throughout the series. Teamwork is work. It is extra work. It is different to sitting down and working by yourself. And what I want you to do here is just pause the video for 30 seconds, maybe, and just write down a few of the ways in which you have found teamwork to be work. What is it that requires a bit of extra attention? So pause, give yourself 30 seconds. This is some of the ways, and this was actually some of the really interesting feedback that we got from folks doing this in person. You have to attend extra meetings. You have to be more organized. You have to work with other people's schedules. You're no longer doing this just yourself. There are more emails. There are more methods of communication. There are team politics. There are interpersonal areas. Things move sometimes more slowly because actually you now have to build consensus. You now have to work with other people's schedules. Sometimes people don't contribute. It's harder to be heard in a larger team. You have to be more assertive. You're not in control. And there are things that you sometimes have to do that you sometimes don't want to do. And these are all parts of working in a team. So why do this? You know, if you have stuff going on, but you have all this extra work to work in a team, why do this? As someone based in Colorado, I used climbing mountains as a metaphor. So if I want to go up a mountain in Colorado, maybe a 14er, I can turn up with a friend. I will have a backpack on. I make sure I have plenty of water. I get up early. I might have a couple of extra layers. I'll make sure I have some food, but I'm okay. I can get to the top of that and I can do that just fine. If I want to address a bigger challenge, if I want to go up something like K2 or Everest, and I turn up with just my backpack, my couple of liters of water, and some snacks, I'm going to both get laughed at and I'm probably going to die halfway up the mountain. Um, you need a team to get up to these larger challenges. It takes longer than me climbing up a 14er. I can usually get that done in a day. It takes longer because you have to go up to different levels. You have to survive in harsher environments. You have people who help carry your stuff up there. You have expert climbers in both rock and ice. You have a cook at base camp to keep you fed and nourished. It takes sort of between 8 to 10 people to get just one person up something like Everest. And this is the same in how we're looking at team science. You can go after smaller challenges. and it will be interesting work. But if you want to go after something really big, you need to bring together a team of experts in various different disciplines and various different skills to get you up to the top of that. Otherwise, you're not going to make it. Just kind of reiterating, this seems like a lot of work. Why do this? It gives you an opportunity to really work on large global scientific problems. It gives you a chance to learn because you are now interacting with experts from other fields, from other disciplines, and it gives you a chance to learn more. And it means you get a deeper network and a stronger network among your professional and scientific disciplines. So these are all great reasons to engage in team science. There's some extra pieces here. The complexity of problems, you can really dig into something super interesting. You get to be exposed to different perspectives and different ideas, and the impact ultimately when you do kind of make it to the top of K2 or whatever, you have a bigger impact than if you are just looking after or chasing after smaller problems. Some examples, things like the Manhattan Project, landing on the moon, the Human Genome Project, these would have been quite simply impossible for one person to do or one group to do. They require interdisciplinary input from experts, and the impact is huge. One of the current ones to kind of look at the moment is the work being done on battery energy storage that's super interesting and is bringing together a lot of different disciplines to push this advancement. And importantly, what I want you to be thinking about as you kind of go through this series is what do you want to do in the future? Do you want to work on a small project that doesn't require interdisciplinary research, or do you really want to be chasing after something that's big impact? And that could be academic, that could be industrial, that could be in a variety of different career choices. But going after these big things requires teamwork. Great. So that's that first piece done. Check out the next one, which gives a brief introduction to the science of team science. Hope to see you there.